In 1861, the star that had stood alone and then joined the Union was ripped away once again. After only 16 years as Americans, Texans found themselves at a crossroads, one that would tear families apart and spill the blood of brothers. 4 dark years, a 6th flag flew over the Capitol, the stars and bars of the Confederacy. It was a chapter written in gunpowder, cotton, and the hardest choices to make. Texas was the storehouse of the Confederacy. While the great battles raged in Virginia and Tennessee, Texas stayed relatively untouched by the Union's total war. But the cost was still staggering. Over 70,000 Texans went east to fight, including the legendary Hood's Texas Brigade. At home, the money was worthless. Confederate currency inflated so fast that the people began bartering with salt and corn. The ports were blocked, and the lifeblood of the Texas economy, cotton, sat rotting in warehouses. Texas wasn't as unified as the history books suggest. In the Hill Country, German immigrants who opposed slavery were hunted down. In North Texas, peace parties were hung for staying loyal to the Union. Even the hero of San Jacinto, Sam Houston, was kicked out of the governor's office because he refused to take an oath to the Confederacy. He warned that the South would go down in a sea of blood and smoking ruin. And he was right. But here's a fact that defines the Texas spirit. The Civil War actually ended in Texas after the war was already over. On May 13, 1865, over a month after Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, the Battle of Palmito Ranch was fought near Brownsville. The Texans actually won the battle. You see, the Confederate territory west of the Mississippi, headquartered in Texas that was under General Edmund Kirby Smith, had not surrendered, and therefore the war was still on. The end of the war brought the most significant turning point in Texas history. On June 19, 1865, Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston. He had General Order No. 3 with him, officially informing the 250,000 enslaved people in Texas that they were free. This moment, Juneteenth, is the birth of a new Texas. The years that followed, known as Reconstruction, were a brutal era of military rule, poverty, and the slow, painful rebuilding of a broken state. The Confederate flag is the most controversial of all the 6, representing a time of deep wounds and injustices. But it is just part of the story. It represents the moment Texas had to decide what kind of state it was going to be. When the smoke finally cleared, Old Glory was waiting to be raised once again, not as a guest, but as a permanent home.